Kind of had a little brain fart moment in the at the beginning there. Good way to start, am I right? But in any case, hello everyone. This is Matt, your local friendly gamer, and yes, we are officially in. Well, I mean, as of yesterday, we are officially in 2024. So, kind of want to take a look back at kind of, all that, all that was able to do, and just kind of all the craziness that's been kind of happening. And probably some of the craziness that will probably happen going into the next year or two to come, So, if you don't mind me rambling on for a bit, as I usually do when I kind of do these sort of things, let's start with 2023. So yeah, the hope is that I would stream a little bit more frequently, and in the case of the second half, I was definitely really good about that. The first half, not nearly as much, and I'm not sure what kind of was up with January and February. I think I was just kind of dealing with a lot of the leftovers from the year before and was trying to keep up the best as I can, especially when it comes to like personal freelance work. Because I've been working at home to kind of help with like certain family stuff, the past couple of years, I've been kind of trying to ramp up my freelance work a bit, which is still very much true, just for varying different reasons. The past couple of years was mainly focused on kind of helping, my mom and my sister with things, and now it's just basically trying to help around the best I could with everything involving my grandmother, who unfortunately had a rather nasty fall in the middle of the year. So, and not helping matters was that, we had like a whole ton of house repairs that were needed. We all got COVID in March. So it really put a mess in things, especially like at the beginning of the year. Because I know I wanted to initially, start things off with Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, and that game ended up taking 5 months to do, despite it not being a very long game. I had to also rely on a lot of kind of what I like to call like one-off streams and stuff like that for a while, especially to kind of warm myself back up when I had to go on like very extended breaks where I would not stream anything for 1 or 2 weeks. Which might very well be the case again this year, just for a variety of different reasons, probably freelance related. Because for those that don't know, I am also a freelance filmmaker and photographer. And that's kind of where the majority of my efforts kind of go into, because for the longest time it has been a side hustle while I had to do like day jobs to kind of pay my bills. And now since I've been kind of helping around the house more, I've been trying to elevate, freelance work to be the main thing. And, having kind of, what I consider side projects like, this gaming channel and all these like personal podcasty like things as kind of, personal side projects that I could have a little bit of, kind of like my own flavor to. Whereas when it comes to freelance work, I usually work at the direction of whether of what a client would like to see. And I just, try to put it all together, whether I do on-set camera work or I do editing at like my home office. But that is what I usually spend the majority of the day doing. And then if I have time or energy afterwards, that's when I also take time to stream. You also might have kind of noticed that, in the background, my sister's kind of been popping in here and there because they usually like to help get my grandmother to bed, and I usually stream during the evening. So, I'll start like very talkative at like the beginning, but then like as soon as they come in, I might like not talk as much or try to quiet down because my grandmother's sleeping because she's been living with us since September and probably will be continuing to live with us for the foreseeable future. But in spite of all that, I managed to have plenty of good streams, whether it's like one-off multiplayer stuff, whether it's covering, continuing covering, the booster pack tracks, which we got the last one, last month. As well as, doing my first RPG under my new name. So, because I technically did an RPG under my old name before. And it was one of the few streams that I did under my own name before I decided to rebrand myself. So, it was definitely a fun experience all throughout. Some frustrations here and there, whenever a stream didn't want to, start the way it wanted to start, due to like connection issues or anything like that. Or for the uptime time, Automod, which I'm pretty sure is on the Stream Element side, decides to get a little bit uppity and decided to, time out like the only person that is able to come in and visit for like chatting and stuff. Or the one time when they decide to like do like all caps or something like that, that continuously gets really frustrating. And I do long for the day where I don't have to rely on Automod anymore. Cause yeah, it even like, I think it even like timed out my girlfriend for like a stream when she was on or something. That was just flat out embarrassing. But yeah, I mean, I've met a couple of my goals. I met the 50 follower on Twitch. Pretty early on. I also uploaded a lot of like short content, via YouTube Shorts. That was also pretty neat. And I also met my donation. I met a couple of donation goals. I managed to do, an Able Gamer stream that I managed to reach the goal of solely by getting wrong answers at game show games. Which, hey, nothing wrong with that. I was able to finally give a good amount over to Able Gamers after I kind of didn't really give them the best streams last year. And I hope to give them another good stream this year as well. I also met my Extra Life Game Day goal. And I think I actually ended up, doubling last year's donations, which was really, really cool. So I haven't signed up again for this year just yet. I do plan on to, and when I do, I'm more than likely going to have to get a new link to share, because I think the one that I currently have, in my descriptions and stuff, doesn't work anymore because the 2023 campaign, officially closed out. So, I will be entering my 4th year into Extra Life. I will be doing my 3rd annual campaign for Able Gamers. And I will hopefully do something for St. Jude Children's Hospital. Now, I did make a goal that I did not end up reaching, that I would do like a Try Not to Laugh challenge. I still plan on doing a stream for St. Jude. It just won't be that. I'll probably shelve that and have that as another milestone for like a donation or something like that. I also still have yet to reach 250 subscribers on YouTube, so I gotta also figure out what milestones that I want. Should I ever reach that? Should I ever reach 500? Should I ever reach 1,000? As well as any other sort of milestones via Twitch. I think the next Twitch milestone I might plan to do would be 100 followers on Twitch or something like that. I'm actually kind of jumping ahead here, because now I'm gonna try to figure out what's up as far as 2024. Now, I'm probably gonna try to continue doing like various solo discussions where it's just me rambling at a camera and microphone, and see if it gets like anyone else's brain juices kind of flowing when it comes to talking various things. I was able to talk about the Mario movie, my personal feelings towards the Mario, Metroid, Kingdom Hearts, Sonic, and Pokemon franchises. And I do plan to add a few more of those in whenever I feel like it's most appropriate. I do want to do a couple of things with co-hosts. I think I was only able to do 2 instances this year. But not only is it hard to coordinate schedules and see when other people available, it's also been hard to see when I'm available. Because a couple of people have approached wanting to do stuff with me, and I definitely would have wanted to, but it's like I'm either too busy with something, or I finished being busy with something, but now I'm tired as heck. Which is also why sometimes there's a extended gap in between streams, because I've just had day after day after day where it's like I had to either really work on something, or I have been really working on something, and I just need some time to just relax, And as far as 2024 goes, it's pretty much gonna be Pokemon. I'm planning on starting Pokemon Violet as soon as I possibly can. As far as how I'm going to end Pokemon Violet is going to be a whole other question all in its entirety, because I'm going through some of kind of the extra stuff in Pokemon Scarlet right now, specifically all the stuff regarding Blueberry Academy. And I just kind of have to wonder, just at what point do I have to say stop and, I'm good, I am done with the game. Because I know there's supposed to be at least one extra epilogue story coming in in a couple of weeks or so, but I don't know if it's going to be the only one, or if there's going to be more than one. So I'm trying to get as much mileage out of Scarlet as I can, but I don't know if I want to take a similar approach to Pokemon Violet, because as it already stands, I'm already going to split, kind of the main story stuff and the expansion stuff. And in the middle, I'm going to be playing another Pokemon game. I'm going to be playing Pokemon Shining Pearl. Because that's literally kind of the only reason why I think I could still justify buying more than one copy of a Pokemon game is, I'll have a version to play for me, just for, my own enjoyment, and I'll have a version to stream, because for whatever reason, they still don't do multiple save files, That was the original intention with Sword and Shield, but I think when those came out, I still was kind of trying to figure out my own streaming plans and all that stuff. So, I ended up just playing them both, which means I had to probably at some point make another me account to do either Sword or Shield, just like I'm probably going to have to do the same for either Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, and I'm definitely going to have to do that for Legends Arceus whenever I get around to that. But of course, once I get those 2 games done, I'm probably not going to be touching Pokemon for a while. That isn't a new game, or a side game or stuff like that. So, and I know my sister likes to occasionally to play on the Switch, so that'll probably also be another instance where I'll be playing, Pokemon and stuff. But it's I've already been putting in 130 and 140 hours on Scarlet, and man, that's a lot to stream. It's already bad enough that it could very well go into next year. But especially because my streaming schedule has to be sporadic, because this is mainly kind of a passion project sort of deal. And while I do plan on doing various non-gaming passion projects, as far as as a personal independent creator, as well as maybe hopefully get back into game design, because I did study that alongside of film in school, and I would like to actually try to, make my own game or two, sort of deal, But, it's I have to prioritize other stuff, because, being an adult means you have to be more responsible with various things, and it's already bad enough that I'm kind of not doing as well as I would have liked regarding certain points of my life. I am in my early 30s, and I haven't really made a lot of headway to where I was, 5 or 10 years ago. So, and each year I've always been hoping to kind of change that. And I'm not just talking, stuff on YouTube and Twitch. I'm just talking like personally in general, and especially with all the stuff that's been happening, with, the pandemic, and the post-pandemic, and just basically also everything that, has happened kind of around me, in the past few years or so is kind of made things a little difficult, if not so much, directly affecting me. It's that, stuff that may not necessarily affect me, but can kind of mess with my head a bit. Cause, I also have, moderate to severe anxiety and moderate depression. So, which wasn't even diagnosed until like roughly 6 years ago, I think. So it's just trying to manage all sorts of craziness, and always having like a massive stressful episode every time you hear something on the news or something, or when something like unexpected happens in your life. Because this year has been full of unexpected things, for sure. And I kind of have to have that sort of expectation in my life going forward, especially this year, because, I'm trying to kind of I'm already trying to make up for the kind of stuff that I wasn't able to accomplish the year before in this year. So, but, that's just a whole other thing. Now, you may also notice, especially especially when I get like my thumbnail updated on YouTube, why am I exactly looking at 2025 already? Well, aside from like one-offs and like charity streams, because, I hope to include St. Jude, Able Gamers, and of course Extra Life, this year is already going to be mostly Pokemon based, especially when it turns to like standard, playthrough, walkthrough content and stuff. It's going to be mainly Pokemon based. So as far as 2025 is concerned, it's going to be 5 years since I've rebranded from my old username to Your Local Friendly Gamer. It's going to be my 5th year with Extra Life. And as far as I know, it's also going to be the 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. So, as I kind of start trailing off from like all the other kind of stuff that I've been doing, that I will be doing this year, I definitely want to introduce various playthroughs and other special things that are Mario themed. Well, at the same time, hopefully bring back, maybe a couple of things Sonic related and a couple of things Metroid related. And also maybe introduce a thing or two of Kirby, because those are the 5 franchises that I've been the most involved with since I've been growing up. So I definitely kind of want to reflect that as to the best of my ability in 2025. And I think since it will also be my 5th year with Extra Life, I'm probably going to have like everything going on in that year be like an Extra Life charity stream. So that's kind of why I'm hoping like the next couple of outings with other charities will bear some fruit, because then from then on in, I'm going to be focused on Extra Life for a while, solely on Extra Life for a while, until 2026, where I'll still be doing stuff with them. Don't get me wrong. It's just then I'll be mixing in other charities and stuff. And if I break any sort of, channel milestone, at that time, I'm probably gonna see about maybe having like a special like community night or something like that, because most of the milestones I'll be focused on in 2025 will be the donation milestones. But that's basically kind of what I already kind of have in my head right now. The other thing that I'm kind of a little worried about, especially in 2025, is because I have heard that Microsoft is going to stop providing security updates for Windows 10 at like fall 2025, around that time. I'm hoping it's not 2024, because that's already enough of a panic attack as it is. But The thing is that, I've been kind of having trouble managing the space, specifically at my C drive, which is like the solid state drive, but it's a lot smarter than the D drive, which is like the normal the hard disk drive. And I had to make sure that it's like, okay, I had to figure out what I'm going to like keep on there, what I'm going to delete, and stuff, to where it's like I had to be able to update my laptop, and if it doesn't go well, then I had to figure out what the heck I'm going to do should it not go well, because I can't really afford another gaming laptop right now, and it's like this one's already going to be 5 years old come April, and it's still working fine enough as it is, but it's like it kind of had a few instances where I kind of got like pretty frustrated, and and it's like I do hope it kind of hangs in there until I get to a more financially secure position, to where I can like even so much side grade, forget about upgrading, especially because, I don't really have a whole lot of room to have any sort of involved setup, but like even so much as a side grade, into something a little bit more current, That's also kind of why I also haven't really gotten a PS5 or a Steam Deck just yet, because it's like, again, one of the things that I kind of have to focus on, especially in the next couple of years, is kind of being a little bit more financially responsible, Even though that I don't spend, as far as like the percentage that I like spend towards games on a monthly level has kind of gone down a little bit over the years, especially because I don't have the platforms to play some of the newest stuff like Baldur's Gate 3 or Final Fantasy 16. we haven't added 17 just yet, 16. But I also am trying to kind of hopefully like manage like impulse buying a little bit, so that because I want to finally get student loans done. I also have a little bit more of a personal loan between me and my family, as far as like buying out my grandmother's car because she can't drive anymore, and then I got to make sure that I don't have as bad of a year credit card wise as I did last year, so it's one of those things where it's like I have to kind of keep in mind that it's like I have to do whatever I can to make sure that I follow the kind of the steps it'd be to be a responsible adult, even though it can really suck sometimes, and I still also need to do stuff like, try to lose more weight and try to put more, assets and stuff in savings, try to keep like my own personal space cleaned up, because, you may not notice it from like what you see here, but I have a lot of stuff kind of gathered and piled on the floor, and a walk-in closet that you mostly can't walk into anymore. And while I have made steps, it's getting to the point where it's like, man, how long is it really going to take for me to kind of do all this, And I also have to kind of consider, it's like, what games and systems should I really be holding on to? If, especially, in terms of both space, in terms of, if I need to start selling stuff to, have a little extra cash, and, what can still work, I'm already seeing signs that my Wii U and my 3DS are not going to be working as well as they are anymore, and it sucks, So, I mean, my PS3 thankfully is still okay, and my PS4 and my Switch are still going strong, but it's like, it's like, man, if I can't get those platforms working, what's the point of still having them? I mean, I've mentioned a couple of times that I did kind of regret selling a good chunk of my Nintendo-based childhood for a PSP, and a couple of games that I don't even have anymore. And it's like, nowadays, it's like, well, man, if it doesn't even work, why am I still letting them collect dust, that sort of thing, And, it also doesn't help a lot that, at some point I might have to start figuring out, like, the best way to, like, emulate games that I want to show that aren't really being preserved to modern platforms. either they're completely absent, or when they are being like ported or like remade and remastered, they aren't being done with the best of care, you know. So it's just various things that I have to kind of consider, especially if I want to play certain games for this channel, you know. So, because yeah, I mean, especially because I think I kind of lost my chance to get a 3DS capture card. So, but yeah, that's just, you know, the random ramblings of your local friendly gamer who's trying to figure out how to go from one year to the next without losing his mind, in both terms of this channel as well as outside of this channel. But, you know, speaking of taking care of adult responsibilities, I don't want to keep myself here or keep you here too long, because I'm pretty sure we all have plenty of goals, or at the very least New Year's resolutions to take care of, and of course, as they all say, there's no time like the present. So, with all that said, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful day. Hope you all are having a great start to your new year. And with any luck, I will hopefully have the start of Pokemon Violet be available as soon as possible. I mean, it's a live stream, so I mean, I gotta find some time to do that live. So, but yeah, with all that said, you know, let's all hope that everything's gonna be going well. You know, and make the most of 2024. All right. Until then, I will see you next stream. Take care.